Hey, buddies, PotatoMcWhiskey here, and welcome to Let's Play Civilization 6 as Arabia in the Dino Chaos mode. I actually don't entirely remember how we set this game up, but I do remember that a lot of really cool stuff has already happened in this game. For example, when we came down here, declared war on Eleanor, which is why she hates us now, to steal the Great Bath, which we now currently have inside of our capital city. We also spent an awful lot of time just building settlers because we have been boxed in by pretty much every player on the map, and I don't think we're going to be able to squeeze out any more settlements. So I reckon this is where we make the decision. We're going to hunker down in this episode and try to just catch back up, because if you look at this science, we are super behind on science. So getting things like our campuses online are going to be big deals. Getting our holy sites online is going to be a big deal. Getting our theater squares up is a big deal. And then the occasional maybe industrial zone and stuff like that. But I think I'm going to be prioritizing getting empire-wide infrastructure up. That's things like trade routes. I think I got a trade route and it was pillaged, which is like infuriating. It was like killed by something anyway. Man-at-arms on the Aztec. I'm really glad that I have friendships with most of my neighbors, so I don't have to worry about wars coming for me. Here's my trader. I was putting my trader in Baghdad because I was going to trade with Homs, because Homs actually has the best production yield for internal trade routes. Plus, it'll actually give me a nice road across my empire that theoretically links up 4 of my cities into a road network. And then once I build these 3 districts, that will also link up my 5th city into a road network. So I'm feeling like this is all like the right kind of stuff that I should do. Let's make sure we turn back on our pins so we can see what we're doing. Now, just a reminder, if you want to be able to turn off and on your pins at will, you want to download the detailed map tax mod. It's one of the best mods in the game. It lets you place all sorts of mods. It tells you the advantages you get from your districts and all that sort of stuff. Now, I think I had planned to do a chop here, but I also would like a mine. I'm getting pretty close to researching industrialization, so mines are going to be pretty important for developing my empire. Now, the only person I really have to worry about is Eleanor, but my hope is that I can improve our relationship with her. Now, she has denounced us recently, so I think maybe moving an archer or 2 towards Sanaa and Homs. I'm getting my walls in Sanaa, and I'm sitting on my great profit so I can get my religion later. I don't need my religion right now, but later is fine. They want to buy my iron. I don't really have a use for iron, so I will sell it. And if you're wondering why I don't plan to get my religion right now, it's because I don't actually have any holy sites built. Like, if you look throughout my empire, I've spent so much energy on just getting cities out and staying alive and getting these wonders that the only thing that I have is a government plaza. So I can't even found my religion yet. And if I did, there's so much religious pressure around that my religion would not survive very long. So I'm going to hold on to that great prophet, because you can found a religion whenever you want. So once I have holy sites in all of my cities, I pop down that religion and boom, instantaneously it converts all my cities, and that's how you get a late game religion established. So you could just sit on that great prophet for as long as you want. You don't have to have your religion yet. We're totally fine. It does mean, now the downside is we will miss out on things like Reformed Church, which gives us a boost if we have 6 cities following our religion. But theoretically, if we built 6 holy sites and then founded a religion, it would instantaneously convert those 6 cities. So we could, in theory, kind of maybe pull that off. There's the old Ankylosaurus. This is honestly one of my favorite dinosaurs. I just really like a spiny boy, you know? This is, of course, from the extra wildlife mod. All the mods that I'm using will be linked in the description of the video. So if you're wondering what I'm using, they'll be in there. The hell is this thing? Oh, it's a leopard. Jesus, leopards are strong, man. 24 combat strength. I like the little... I like the little unicard. Look at his face. Isn't that a cat that you would just pet? Look how cute he is. That's hilarious. No, don't click up. Don't attack the leopards. Back up. What is my scout has a death wish, dude. My scout absolutely has a death wish. I think my plan in Baghdad was to buy this wheat. Where is the city growing? The city is growing to the wheat. I could either... I think I'm going to buy a monument in here to allow the city to grow faster. And then I'm also going to buy the wheat and then improve the wheat. And then this will give this city a 3 food tile. And 3 food tiles are a really, really big deal because every... How do I describe this? What's the simplest way I can explain this? I'm trying to think. Every citizen in your city eats 2 food, right? So if I'm working a tile that gives me 2 food with a citizen, I'm basically coming out even. But if I'm working a tile with 3 food with a citizen, Now I have a surplus. And since every city automatically harvests 2 food, you get 2 food plus 3 food minus 2. So I end up with 3, right? I end up with 3 surplus food. 3 surplus food means my city is now growing 50% faster than a city with 2 surplus food. So this city will grow much faster, which will allow me to work more tiles and so on and so forth. And the granary as well is helping out with that. I don't know how to describe it, but basically, the way the maths works out, if you're working a 3 food tile and every other tile is a 2 food tile, you're actually growing twice as fast or 50% faster than any other city that would be in the same configuration that was only working 2 food tiles. Let's see. He wants to sell me a great work of writing. And you know what? This is actually a really, really good price for a great work of writing. I might even ask him for open borders and like a little bit more gold. But yeah, I'm going to take those. I'm going to take that great work of writing because that'll generate me a very, very small amount of tourism, but also more importantly, a very nice amount of culture. I basically just bought a monument in the form of a great work in my capital. So now I have an extra 2 culture in my capital, which also scales off of how many amenities my capital has. Because my capital is fairly high on the amenity agenda, it's doing quite well. I'm going to unlock this cattle tile because a 3 food tile isn't super useful. I'd rather get 3 production out of it because I'm working the 3 food tile over here, so that'll be fine. I would like to get that re-improved, however, in the near future. So we have recorded history, which gives me my extra governor title, and I had wanted to do a few different things with my governor titles. Most importantly in my capital was to actually pick up the reinforced materials so that things like my campuses don't get wrecked. And since my campus is only a few turns away from getting finished, I think it is now time to pick up zoning commissioner and reinforced materials. And both of these will help me to produce not only builders but also districts in my capital city, and this will prevent this volcano from erupting all over my city for the rest of the game, which is important considering we're playing on apocalypse mode. I'm also going to rush for theology now so I can start building my madrasa and start increasing my faith in science rapidly, in particular in my capital. I feel like that's the way to play as Arabia. Nice, we got our 8th military unit, which has given us the boost towards mercenaries. And we just finished mathematics, so we can build both the Petra and our diplomatic quarter. Now, I had my diplomatic quarter planned, I believe. Did I? Oh. I must not have planned my diplomatic quarter, so that's something I need to get to work on. I do have another scout, and I'm going to send that scout west to start exploring. And in Baghdad now, I will place this Petra. So it's a 52 turn Petra. However, the city is growing, so we'll start building that Petra. And I'd like to place a district down in this city if I could, just to place it. I think I'll spend the 80 gold to unlock that campus location to be able to place it nice and cheap, and then we will of course just continuously work on the Petra, because that is just such a good campus, it's hard to pass up. Plus it'll generate me a ton of faith as well. Now the question is here, do I swap this iron? And I think I do, now that I have a second population in here, and that'll get this down to 46 turns. But the real thing that I need in this city is growth. So ideally looking for something like this cattle tile, although that will be owned by this other city, but maybe some lumber mills would actually be the sus in here, because those are 2 food, 3 production tiles that I could be working. I could probably get this lumber mill at least, which would be slightly better than a mine because it would give me more growth, which will in the long term give me more production, because growth is I've actually become a much bigger fan of growth in this game in my last few games, because I never really respected growth, but now I do. I definitely feel like apprenticeship is my next stop. This will give me +1 production on all my mines. And I have a decent amount of mines, as well as potentially leading towards some industrial zone stuff. But I feel like apprenticeship is like a pretty big milestone in a Civ game. Once you have it, a lot of options open up with regards to your mine stuff. Now, I don't remember why I had Liang in this city. I think it was for loyalty reasons, but I think my loyalty is now secure. So I'm going to grab Liang and reassign it to my capital and pray that the volcano doesn't erupt in the 3 turns between me finishing the campus and Liang establishing. In fact, I'm so scared about that. I'm going to work on a granary instead, because that, like, the possibility of getting this campus killed is just too high and too scary to me, because this is such a valuable campus to me. We're in the medieval era now, so we get to choose a new dedication. I don't think Exodus of the Evangelists makes sense, because I probably won't found my religion this era. Maybe Monumentality, because I'm building a few districts. I do feel like Free Inquiry is also a lot of freebies. Let me have a look at my empire. I do plan on building a fair number of districts this era, so perhaps Monumentality isn't a bad choice. I feel like Free Inquiry is so easy to get boosts for, because like build a lumber mill, 2 harbors, 2 universities, build an aqueduct, build an armory. Yeah, it just seems too easy to get boosts for free inquiry, especially since I'm going to be building campus buildings this era. So +1 era score for building buildings that give you science. I feel like free inquiry is just so much easier. It looks like Eleanor is actually at war with Montezuma because I spotted this man-at-arms inside her borders. So that might actually work out in my favor to buy me a little bit of time to get my stuff together before I get under attack. My science now has actually massively increased to 34 per turn. I really want 100% production towards city center buildings. This makes a big difference for building things like walls and granaries. Although most of my cities already have their walls and granaries, so how important is it to me to get those built? Why can't I build walls in these cities, huh? Oh, because I'm in an in-between turn. You know what? I'm going to throw all of my points into being able to build campuses faster in the hopes that that helps me. And then otherwise, I'm just going to vote for Sikhism because that's the biggest religion that I know of, and hopefully people will vote for that one. Now, it looks like Sikhism passed, and I managed to force through campus boost. So winning both of those actually got me 2 diplomatic victory points, which is pretty handy. It opens up my options with regards to winning the game. I got my granary in here. I have my commercial hub. I feel like getting the market is an important part of building the commercial hub. Getting +1 trade route is a huge boost, but I will go ahead and place my campus down because that's a +3, and then instead I'll work on the market because that +1 trade route is huge. Looks like a couple of city-state emergencies failed. I don't even know who proposed them, but I wasn't able to vote on them, and I'm not sure why. We now have theology, so we can build our madrasa, which is our unique building, which gives us a ton of science as well as faith. I'm going to try and get to friendships with Brazil and Japan again. It's important to keep getting friendships with your neighbors because it gives you 30 turns where they can't attack them. Like, they can't attack you. And that's a really big deal when you're playing on the highest difficulty because you're typically playing from behind. Don't forget to also pick up open borders, and usually the AI will give you a little bit of gold. Japan is really interested in giving me gold this game. He's going to give me 6 gold per turn for open borders, which is kind of crazy, actually. Ooh, I would really like to become suzerain of Geneva. So I think training a horseman is going to be a plan for me. I will send them a single envoy first, which will be doubled up to 2, thankfully. Then I just need to build a horseman in order to make friends with them. So I'm wondering if I could maybe buy some horses off of someone. And I can also buy some luxury resources, which is perfect because that just gives me a ton of amenities. Montezuma has spare horses. I wonder how much he'll part with them for. 2 gold per turn is actually pretty decent to be able to build a horseman. So I'll take that deal. I do think it's time that we switched around our government though, because we're not going to be building any more settlers this game. And I feel like it's really important for us to get like great scientist points maybe. Or it's either great scientist points or campus adjacency. There's people on the map who are already getting like 16 points of great scientists. So I think that's what we're going to do. I'll probably switch into natural philosophy when I have a little bit more need for something like campus adjacency. Right now, I don't even have a campus, so I feel like great scientist points are a little bit more valuable. You know, it's not the greatest card right now. Okay, this is what I was expecting. She declared a formal war against me. Now, I will be able to get man-at-arms very, very soon. So I'm not too scared about that. I have a really good economy. I have the iron. I just need to go ahead and pick up ironworking and then apprenticeship. So I just need to survive 4 turns. And then I think I can hold this. I'll bring my archers over. Are there any city-states at war with me? It doesn't look like there's any city-states at war with me. So I'm actually not worried about this. I'm in a pretty good position because I'm about to finish walls in both of these cities. And I have the iron. I have the iron to defend myself. Man, I'm so sad. There's so much like open space over here that I could have colonized if I wasn't like trapped in the center of the continent. Walls are up in Ahoms. Let me have a look at this city. Do I need more builders? I'm feeling like it's time to get these campuses up. I don't have anything I would use a builder on except maybe this hill. It could be worth it to just crack out a quick builder. How far are we from feudalism? We're pretty far from feudalism, so getting a builder out now might be good to get like this cattle repaired and stuff like that. So I'll crack out a quick builder and then I'll go for the campus in here. I'll also bring this archer down to occupy the city and I'll park the chariot in it just for now to give it a higher combat strength. Now in Homs, we had planned to do some dam stuff, as well as a couple of other things. So I may actually just go for a builder in here as well to be able to chop out this commercial hub. So I'll grab myself a builder. I'm feeling militarily like I'm relatively secure. And I'll now get to settle my very, very, very last city. That's it. That's all the cities I'm going to settle for this whole game. I have to win this game with these 6 cities because there is no more room. There is no more room that I can take. I would have to send a settler on an expedition all the way out to this peninsula, and that would be like an insane thing to do. I do have pretty good spots for districts in this city if I really think about it. Like there's not a bad campus here. Like, oh, that's not where I wanted it. Right there. That's a +3 campus. That's pretty damn decent. I'm feeling like this city is off of fresh water, so it absolutely must get an aqueduct somewhere, which I'm not the biggest fan of because it kind of constricts my moves. I was hoping to put a commercial hub there, but maybe I could do a commercial hub here instead. And that might just have to be most of what this city builds in terms of districts, because there really just isn't room for anything other than that. Maybe like something here on the desert, but I just don't have the workable tiles in here to justify anything other than that. And even this commercial hub and aqueduct are pretty suspect at the moment. But for now, I'll get to work on things like granaries and monuments. I'll build the monument first because I plan to buy the granary because the city is actually housing locked, which means the food surplus in here is cut in half. You can see here, the growth per turn is taking a 0.5 penalty, which means it's being multiplied by 0.5, which means it's basically halved. So we need to get housing in here to bring the city back to speed. We've built our very, very first campus, and it was our first campus to have +3 adjacency or higher. So I'm super happy about that. There's ironworking. We can grab swordsman. I will spend money on this soon, not right now. It's not like top priority. I'm going to sell some dies for 12 gold per turn. I may actually just take the raw gold here, although 12 gold per turn is like really, really good money. But selling that off for a little bit of extra money means I can now buy this granary comfortably, and I can still get a swordsman in the next few turns. So with the completion of this campus, I think it would be good to maybe start placing a few things. I reckon get another builder. It would be good to also get to work on military tactics so we can start building Huey. I don't know where I'm going to put my holy site in this city. I definitely feel like I should go for a diplomatic quarter. I think I'm going to try to reserve this space right here for a potential spaceport if we decide to go for a diplomatic victory or a space race, which means you usually want to have your diplo quarter like adjacent to your spaceport. So I'm thinking like diplo quarter could go here. And that's because the diplomatic quarter gives you extra defense against spies in the tiles around it. You can see here, enemy spies operate at 2 levels below normal, targeting this district and adjacent districts. So your diplo quarter acts as a defense against spies, and since space race buildings are the most vulnerable to spy attacks, it's usually good to put it there. Oh my god, dude, look, double reef. Can you imagine if I was able to get a like city over here and settle a campus? Now I'm tempted to send settlers over here, but I'm not gonna because we're sticking to our guns, okay? But I'm gonna leave that pin there just so we can all think about what could have been. Nice, we just got apprenticeship, which means all of our mines in our empire got better, which also means our return on investment for builders got a lot better, and we can build industrial zones as well as man-at-arms. That does mean I need to save 250 gold up to upgrade this warrior now, but once I have that warrior upgraded, my cities will have enough combat strength to be able to hold against any potential attacks from Eleanor. I don't know why she declared war on me. She just made herself public enemy number 1 for no reason at all. Like, at all. We got our builder in the capital. I'll go ahead and repair that cattle. We got our builder in Homs, and that was for that mine right there. Now in my capital, I would like to buy that tile to place the the diplomatic quarter. I'm gonna do it. You know what? I'm gonna do it. It's cheeky, it's dangerous, and it eats up all my gold, but I'm gonna do it anyway. And then I'll go ahead and start building my library and my madrasa in my capital. I need to start like climbing the science up. So I'm sitting on another governor title, and I feel like researcher is just so high value on Pingala. It's +1 science per population in the city, and the city of Homs has 7 pops. That's 7 science that we just nabbed there, which brings us up to a pretty healthy amount. My science seems to be like fluctuating due to some reason. I'm not sure why. I'll have to figure that out. It like jumps up and then down. Boom, repair the cattle. Now a 3 food tile, again, remember 3 food tiles are big deals. You always want to work them if you can. I've got another 2 food, 1 production tile. We're very, very close to feudalism, so we probably want to think about a farm triangle in here. Yeah, absolutely. I really do feel like maybe if I improve this maze and this here, that would give me 2 bonus resources on farms. Yeah, this would give me a ton of food in this, like that can be shared between Jeddah and Cairo and allow me to grow those cities real fast. Market completed in Jeddah. Ancient walls would be a safe play, but I don't believe in playing it safe. I do need to get a trader up though, so I will do that. Traders are what I consider empire-wide infrastructure. Things like spies, government plazas, diplomatic districts, traders. I'm trying to think of like, is there anything else that I would put in those categories? Not really, but those are what I would consider like the big empire-wide infrastructures. And generally speaking, things that are empire-wide infrastructures are huge because their benefits typically scale extremely well throughout the game and apply to more than one city, or offer you power that you can't get through any other mechanic like spies. I could in theory boost feudalism here. I have 2 farms. I'm not seeing a reason to do to not do that. Oh god! My poor scout he's been surrounded by barbarian wildlife. Get out of here. Run! I can't even blame him for that because I was manually controlling him. All right, lovely. Look at this madrasa, dude. 7 science. Some of that is coming from our relationship with city-states. Plus 3 faith, because that is a 3 adjacency campus. And housing, citizen slots, and great scientist points. Incredible. So we want to rush out the madrasa because the value on that is huge. So I think this is my 3rd farm. This is my 4th farm. This is my 5th farm. Boom. And then that one will be my 6th farm, which will give me the boost to feudalism, which means I will be able to get serfdom faster. And then builders become like a much more valuable decision for me. Of all the things I want to build in here, I feel like the industrial zone is the thing, but I don't want to spend gold on it. So I think I may just actually build a horseman because I had a city-state mission for that. Geneva wanted me to build a horseman, which would give me suzerainty of Geneva, potentially 15% science when I'm not at war, as well as an extra 2 science on my madrasas. No! My poor scout was killed. Ooh, that is a pretty painful eruption. 5 tiles were fertilized and 3 tiles were damaged. It looks like my salt mine down here was hurt. And my poor archer took a bit of heat. But the fertilization is actually, fantastic. I want to buy this tile. It looks like Brazil has also potentially declaring war on France. So this is just working out great for me. Absolutely just perfectly balanced. All right, nice. We got feudalism. I don't know, do my builders have... Oh, he had 4 charges because it was Governor Liang. Now that I have Liang in the city, I feel safe putting mines on these volcano tiles because they can no longer be damaged thanks to Liang's abilities. Do I want to sell some iron? I'll sell like 14 iron. That's what I got to go. Who'll pay me? 6 gold per turn. I'll take that. Thank you. As much as I want to get the commercial hub first, it may actually be a campus first in that city. So I'm going to chop here to help finish the Petra. And then I'm going to swap that tile over and place the campus because it's the one that I can place right now, even if it's not exactly the one that I wanted to build. Just getting districts down and placed is like a really big deal. And actually, it does look like Brazil maybe declared war or is trying to help them. One of the two. I will try to get a relationship with Montezuma again, and looks like we secured our friendship, so we're safe again from war for 30 turns from them. We got our campus in Homs, which means we can get our library. I'd love to place the commercial hub, but I don't want to give up a forest shop. And I don't know if I want to be building builders right now in this city. It is a 4-turn build, and it would line up pretty well with feudalism. I'll be able to plug feudalism in soon. How good is that? The science. I'm so behind on science that getting my tech up right now is the thing to do. Especially because in this era, I can build campus buildings twice as fast thanks to the diplomatic resolution. So that's a really, really big deal. Yeah, 100% production towards campus buildings. Yeah, campus buildings for sure. Boom, pop the mine down on my capital. That's a 3 food, 5 production tile. You rarely do you get to see a tile like that. That is a beautiful, beautiful tile. I have a trade route in Jeddah. Now the question is, do I want to use this trade route internally to help a city progress, or do I want to use it externally to earn a bunch of gold? My gold trade routes that I have available to me are not very good, in all honesty. They will get better though. Where am I going to trade from is the question. I feel like there's a pretty good series of trading posts throughout Porto Alegre, Rio de Janeiro, and then Hattusa. Is there anyone that I can get envoys? Is a serious question. No envoys available for trade routes. Nice. So now we have military tactics, so we can get to work on the Huey Toakali, which I wanted to build on my capital. Now, if you remember in the previous episodes, we talked about like the positioning of this. We wanted to put the Huey on the fish so that we could get 4 amenities for it, but we decided to put it here instead because we also wanted to put a fishing boat on this tile and then surround it by 3 fisheries. And this one fishing boat will add an extra 1 food to each of these tiles. So I feel like it's a bit of a trade-off that I don't love, but I think it's a fun trade-off. So I think the order that I'm going to go here is Diplomatic Quarter, Huey Toakali, yeah, Madrasa, Diplomatic Quarter, Huey Toakali. I'll use gold to purchase the consulate because I am playing as an autocracy, so that's worth +1 production and a little bit of other yields. I could trade with Taruga. Getting an envoy with Taruga would be pretty good. That would give me 2 envoys with them, actually, because this is my first envoy with Taruga. And then I just need to put 1 more in, and I get another 2 science in every single one of my madrasas. Actually, the fact that I have spawned with 4 scientific city-states is kind of insane this game. That's really going to carry me through here. Now, it is possible that we could go for the Mamluk and counterattack Paris, because they don't have walls in any of their cities. And I do have a source of iron. However, it would maybe be a bit more prudent to go for an aqueduct and just unlock and focus on economy. Because I don't really want to do a war game. I kind of want to show how you play from behind, which is what we're doing right now, right? Pretty much everyone in the game has more science than us. In fact, the Aztecs have 4 times their science. Like, look, they are already researching Renaissance era techs. Boom, we got stirrups done. Awesome. The wheel. There's feudalism. Feudalism is great because now all my farms are better and I have access to serfdom, so all my builders are going to be much better. I will be taking out inspiration, and I don't think +1 production in every city is very good anymore. I would rather be picking up like serfdom plus natural philosophy for that extra science. I think conscription is fine. I would maybe go for bastions if I was being attacked. Nice. There's engineering. We have access to Machu Picchu and aqueducts and catapults. I think Machu Picchu, yeah, it's literally been built over here. I was just looking at it 2 seconds ago. I reckon it would be good to pick up sailing so we can actually embark into our lake to actually get this fish up. So I'll just grab that real quick. It would be nice to boost watermill tech. But we'll get to work on machinery because crossbowmen are going to be an important part of our defense. And I'm finally going to upgrade this guy to a man-at-arms. And then I might actually push with like crossbowmen and man-at-arms. And maybe I'll go for Mamluks. Like, you know, maybe we'll see if we can like push with Mamluks. Because I have like 2 heavy chariots that I could upgrade it to Mamluks. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they upgraded to Mamluks now. So 2 Mamluks, 2 crossbows, and a man-at-arms. I might be able to like raise the city of Rouen and like crack out a real quick settler and nab my own city, or at the very least like take the city and then sell it back to her in a peace deal for like a huge win of some kind. Time for the madrasa in Homs. We got the monument in Aleppo. This city is lacking a builder. I don't think this city should build its own builder. Did I forget to change? I forgot to change my government. I'll eat the 50 gold. I thought I had done that. I must have misclicked. Yeah, but we wanted natural philosophy as well as serfdom. And then otherwise, I was actually pretty happy with this. Maybe charismatic leader now. Time to start getting more influence points. Yeah, I've got envoys with pretty much every city-state I've met, so getting more envoys is better rather than getting double envoys from the first one. I think aqueduct is going to be priority here in Aleppo. A city-state just declared war on me, and it was Caguana. I don't care so much about Caguana. We built our very first madrasa, which is worth 4 era scores, so we're potentially in the money here in this era. The city does now have walls, which kind of changes what we might have to do. I will go ahead and place my industrial zone, even if I'm not building it right now. I'm going to grab myself probably a watermill and a builder. Do I want the watermill? Do I go for the campus with the industrial zone? We're a little bit away from industrialization, so we don't need the industrial zone right now. However, it would be kind of cool to start generating great engineer points now, early, and actually have this up and running really early into the game, which is something I very rarely do. So I'm going to prioritize the industrial zone, kind of experimenting with little side strategies here. I'm going to see, no, it looks like France has managed to build some walls, so it's going to be less likely that I sneak in with this horseman now to steal some pillages, so I'll just let him chill in the city. Nagazagamu has been defeated, Nazca has been defeated, and a couple of city-states have been defeated. That's unfortunate. Machu Picchu is gone, Jebel Barkal and Great Library. Still plenty of wonders in the game for us to nab here. Huey Toakali being the number one that I'm like personally concerned about right now. I'm glad the city has a really good food surplus because it has a huge amount of housing. We're gonna start nailing our population growth in here very soon. Like it'll start to grow like exponentially. Let's improve this pasture. Having access to horses will be useful. It's a resource we can sell. It's a resource we can use to make units. Very, very useful just to have a strategic. Perfect. We have access to the Mamluk now, and they only cost 10 iron to upgrade. I reckon we'll need a decent amount of gold here unless we go ahead and pick up mercenaries. But we're trying to get Chichen Itza because we want to get the jungle Petra over in Jeddah. Maybe I should have bought some more of these jungle tiles. Well, it's not the end of the world. We'll get at least 4 jungle Petra tiles, which is like pretty reasonable. But now that we have the Mamluk, let's grab the crossbowman. We'll sell off of our spare citrus. We'll pick up 200 gold off that. That means the first Mamluk is already completed. Amazing. That's another 4 era score. So the potential for a golden age here is starting to ramp up. As long as we can get enough science buildings built and enough like wonders built and all sorts of stuff like that, then we're going to be absolutely golden. And the nice thing about Mamluks is they do heal every turn, but crossbowmen and walls is a little bit too much damage for me to like take that on the chin. So maybe I'll see if I can sneak around and get a pillage or something. Got a spare envoy. I will be sending it to Anshan. Well, it depends. Anshan looks like it's pretty safe, like it's not going to be killed in a while. So this will give me an extra 2 science in my universities. Finally up to about 100 science per turn. So this has been a big science push, this effort. Big science effort this episode. We're now half the science of the Aztecs. So we are catching up ever so slightly. We're not where we need to be yet, but we are getting there. I probably should consider building a galley as well for +1 era score. Having the option is just going to be useful. Oh, right. She captured my my builder. Oops. Well, I do have 3 shots in the area and a man-at-arms attack. This guy stepped out of the city. I'm gonna hit him. I'm just hit him. Get the free hit, dude. We weren't quite able to manage. Dude, this horseman would die if I did that. That's unfortunate. I think he's going to get away with that 1 builder charge. Oh well, it's only a single builder charge. We got our diplomatic quarter in here. It's time to start Huey. I'd love to purchase the consulate, but it's Huey time. Ooh, that was a nasty hit there. A nasty boy. All right, let's see if we can escape. We'll shoot this guy. You have a promotion. I'd like you to get the kill, ideally. Perfect. So I don't think we need to think about being aggressive anymore. I think we managed to hold our own. We're doing fine. If I build 2 galleys, I'll actually get the boost for shipbuilding, which is worth 1 era score as well. I need to build a watermill. Hard choices. I really want to be building the commercial hub, but I think 2 galleys and Homs makes sense. It's worth 2 era score. Gets me very, very close to this. The only problem is now watermill is like a bunch of gatekeepers for text that I want. More so shipbuilding. Eleanor wants peace. I'll take peace. I don't want to be at war, especially because I'm suzerain of Geneva. So that's 15% science I just picked up. Boom, lovely. There is Petra. You know what's something I forgot to do this game? I forgot that I get faith on these floodplains. I don't remember. Did they ever fix the soothsayer thing where you could use a soothsayer on your own land? That might actually have to be something I save scum. Oh my god, we're up to 71 score. I don't even think we need this galley anymore. I'll go for the watermill instead, because that's worth a point. Then it'll be a builder, and then it'll be a commercial hub in here. There's the Petra, which is now, I have an amazing city in Baghdad. I'll also go for the theater square. The watermill would be amazing too, because this wheat would be worth a lot more. But I think builder into watermill is like the perfect move in this city, because these Petra hills are like game changers. So let me try and reorganize how I want to do this city. I think I definitely want to work the wheat, because that's going to be worth 4 food. 4 food's a lot. Then I want to work as many of these Petra hills as possible. I think that's a reasonable setup. Jeddah has finished its campus. The city is having growth issues. How long until we get this? We're 14 turns away from guilds, which means I think we can get a library and a madrasa in here. It might be cutting it close with the world resolution ending soon. Let's get a second Mamluk just to be able to defend potentially. And now the rest of my gold is probably going to go to economic matters. And boom, we actually discovered the Pamukkala, which has secured our era score. So we are going to be in a golden age next era, which changes a lot about the potential things that we can do. Does this actually work? I don't remember. Let's find out. Oh, it does. It still gives you the plus faith. Oh, that's amazing. Oh, that feels a little bit broken. Yeah, I'm going to do it anyway. Hell yeah. That's like the greatest use of my faith ever. Nice. Civil service. Cool, we can now get alliances, and we should probably consider getting an alliance with somebody. Ideally, somebody technological who is going to maybe trade with us a bunch. Here, I'll have a search for commercial hubs, and whoever has the most commercial hubs is probably the most likely to trade with me. And it looks like it's actually the Aztecs. So maybe if I can secure a research alliance with the Aztecs, we'll both kind of steam ahead into the late game and leave everybody behind. And having only one person I have to deal with is actually great. So what if I make the Aztecs like stronger? If he's the only guy I have to deal with, I'm pretty confident I can beat an AI in a 1v1. I'm researching astronomy purely just to delay. Actually, I don't need to delay construction anymore because I have all the era score I need. So I think I can just actually unlock lumber mills now. What's our next big milestone as a civilization? I feel like it is research labs. That's our next big milestone, as well as dams. So let's just grab dams for the city that needs the dam. Then it's probably industrialization. Maybe I can get an Oxford University this game. It's unlikely. I'll spend a soothsayer. There's the 3 faith tiles. This gets upgraded by buying that. Yeah, okay. So that still works. So this is... Every time I use a soothsayer, I get 5 potential faith in my capital city from working these farm tiles, which is going to be sick as hell. We just researched dams, so we can now plop down the dam that we had planned here in Isana. We'll build that pretty much immediately after the industrial zone. Might leave it a little bit of time because there's nothing really of value here that can flood, so I'm not worried. I reckon it's time to rush for industrialization so we can start getting factories online. Especially, I really want to get my factory up because I only need to build 1 factory and that hits every city in my empire, which is basically like building a building and getting an extra tile in every city. It's like having +1 pop. That's the way you should think about a factory. Every city that a factory can hit essentially has +1 population, just working a mine somewhere invisible off of the map. And so that's why, yes, industrial zones aren't the best, but if you think of it like that, they have huge value. So it is time to appease the gods again. And I would like the free promotion as well as the free soothsayer. I will be... Let me see. Which units would I get rid of? Well, like the Mamluk isn't really going to be useful going forward. And it's worth 50 score. So I might just like throw a Mamluk into the volcano and see how that like turns out for me. I think I need more builders, so builder is the name of the game here. It's about the time of the game where your cities start to grow pretty rapidly because the value of the tiles that you have go up rapidly, which means you're going to start to need to improve more tiles. More population means more builders. You need to improve more tiles so they can work things. I'm going to say 100% city-states yield when trading with scientific city-states is probably better. These are really popular in this game right now. And I'd like for great scientists to be doubled, although they may get banned. It would suck if they were getting banned because that's what I have invested the most into. And looks like earning double of great scientists passed. Awesome. So we won another vote, which means we're up to 4 diplomatic victory points. Winning those votes is a pretty big deal. It opens up your options. In Homs, I do think it's time to get the commercial hub. So what I'm going to do is something called a pre-chop. It's when you want to build a district on a feature like a forest or a jungle, and normally when you place a district down on one of those features, it just destroys it completely and doesn't actually give you any yields. But you'll see here, this is going to take me 9 turns to build. And if I come in here and I chop with my builder preemptively, I come back in and now the commercial hub is only taking 6 turns. That's because when you chop, it goes into the city's overflow buffer, basically. And then when I place the district, I've essentially spent a builder charge and got the value of the forest chop anyway. So that's like, if you're going to crush a forest and you can get a builder around, it's usually worth it. Doubly so if you have Magnus in the area, I would say. Like that's like Magnus being in the area makes that extra valuable. Now I think unfortunately Huey is a medieval wonder. And I don't have the Medieval Wonder building card right now. I only have the Ancient and Classical, so I am just kind of having to hard build this. But let's go ahead and yeet this boy into the volcano. Boom. That'll give me 35 points. That's not as many as I was hoping for. We've met Poland and the Ottomans. Looks like these guys are all the way over here. Yeah, I'm pretty glad I decided not to go for a domination this game. Oh, he built the Colosseum. Very nice. We got our aqueduct, which is perfect. Do I want to buy these tiles? The city really doesn't have a lot of workable tiles. So even snagging these two is like a pretty big deal for it. So I'll just grab them. I have to. I'd like a builder in here. I'd like to chop this before I put anything on it. I may as well place the commercial hub in here. I'm going to put it on the desert tile. I just can't afford to destroy workable tiles in Aleppo. I just don't have them to spare. I think it's about time though that we went back over here and bought all of these luxuries. Plus I just got 16 amenities from that trade deal there. That's going to make a huge difference to my cities. Let's have a look at the capital and make sure we're working the good tiles here. Growth is definitely a focus. I want to lock these 3 tiles in. The cattle is quite good, but I don't know if it's worth it over this. This maize tile for sure, because that's worth, 2 production, 3 food, 2 gold, 4 faith. Then I don't know, it might be lumber millable. That might be lumber mill time. Could just use just a little squidge more production. Right, I'm up to... Oh, that was Canada at 35 points. I did actually get 50 points for that Mamluk. Well, I'm happy about that. Just sacrificing my incredibly powerful units into the volcano to make myself look weaker to the AI, so they're more likely to attack me. Do you know what? There's actually a really feckin' good industrial zone right here if I sacrifice a Petra Hill for an aqueduct. Man, sacrificing a Petra Hill for a +6 industrial zone does not feel worth it. It's a really, 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 really good industrial zone though. I don't need another industrial zone. Maybe if I was playing Germany, I would do something like that. But every Petra Hill in here is precious because my empire is very, very small. I don't have a lot of workable tiles, so every single thing that I place down is a big deal. My culture is starting to lag behind a little bit, which is a bit scary. I think, though, we can make up for that pretty handily with a few theatre squares. The question is, do I keep power? I feel like powering hard for the campus is the play that helps me win the game the most, because I'm super, super catching up on Montezuma here. I'm up to 140 to his 188. Time for our very first great person, or maybe our second great person. I don't remember. Potentially Zhang Qian, who gives me +1 trade route and makes trade routes. Oh, that's actually quite good. Extra, attractiveness for trade routes to my city. I'm going to take him. I would love to place him. Get out of my swamp! Feckin' barbarian lions appearing out of nowhere. Jesus. Why are you here? Why are you here? I'll pop down a lumber mill where the spaceport will go later, purely just so I could have an extra productive tile in my capital. She wants me to declare war on my oldest friend in this game after she betrayed me. Although actually, I feel like I was the one who betrayed her first. But yeah, she is the only player in this game I've been at war with, and she's joint war, and I'm like, no. We're not going to war together. I'm sorry. Stop trying to make war together a thing. I would really prefer to place Zhang Qian in my capital, but is it worth waiting until my capital builds a commercial hub to do that? I think I'm going to just put it in Homs instead. But I think that's where we're going to leave this episode of Civ 6. We're on the cusp of getting the Huey to Akali. We're about to start building the Chichen Itza. We have massively caught up in the science game, and we've built a huge amount of wonders and managed to defend ourselves in a pretty scary war. That's going to be it for me for this episode. I love you all very much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!